Movie studios have been mining the video game industry for creative ideas since the early 1990s. Given nearly 20 years to crack the formula, one might expect the genre would have a better track record. But many game-to-film adaptations haven't lived up to expectations. Super Mario Bros., Street Fighter and Wing Commander to name a few. But there is a bright side. Success stories such as Mortal Kombat and the Resident Evil and Tomb Raider movies have made sure that this particular genre has stayed alive and is looking ready to flourish.
The Earth was created in 6 days, so too shall it be destroyed!
In March 2004, the production company Jerry Bruckheimer Films sought to acquire the feature film rights to the 2003 video game Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, with the film to be distributed by Walt Disney. In 2006, the film's scriptwriter Jordan Mencher told the press that rather than do a straight beat-for-beat adaptation of the video game, they would be taking some cool elements from the game and using them to craft a new story. Similarly, Alex Garner's scheduled adaptation of the Halo story will not be following the exact plots from each of the 5 games in the series. Instead, the film will take the most cinematic elements of each game and merge them into something cohesive. The 1982 film Tron was written and directed by Steve Linsberger. Decades after it first came out, it spawned a franchise consisting of a sequel film and multiple video games. In 2008, director Joseph Kosinski negotiated to develop and direct TR2N, described as the next chapter of the 1982 film and based on a teaser trailer shown at that year's San Diego Comic-Con. With the project still in development, another new video game release is expected to coincide with the film's screening later this year. In 1928, Vladimir Propp produced a paper, Morphology of the Folktale, and subsequently established his narrative theory. Conceived by the analysis of Russian fairy tales, Propp suggested that there are only a very limited number of different stories, and that any tale which seems original is simply the merging of 2 or more of these stories. Subsequently, it's no surprise that the video game producers of today are no longer even attempting to come up with original material, simply new ways to dress the classics.
His ideas have been kind of widely used as a way of looking at characters and how they interact. In other words, how they drive the story, how they make the story move towards its denouement and its final unpacking at the end. Rather like the classical heroes of Greek drama who are sort of girdled by the gods in terms of what they can do. You, if you like, as the player, are the god. You are the one who is making the decisions for the hero and propelling the hero towards his destiny, whether good or bad. So the fact that you may be interacting with a character or propelling the character on their journey just really makes you part of their story world. After all, there are certain boundaries you generally can't cross. There are certain things you're not allowed to do. Of course, most heroes don't get the opportunity to respawn, but you know, that's just one of the advantages. And after all, if you didn't, the game could be very, very short. We all want to get to that final act. We all want to know how the hero is rewarded for going on his journey and how the narrative finally gives us a satisfying ending.
Not only have games and the printed word merged in conceptual terms, but physical fusion has also resulted in some new technologies. In 2004, IDW publishers began work on a comic adaptation of the original Metal Gear Solid game with artist Ashley Wood and writer Chris Apresco. In 2006, though, the comics were adapted into what Konami describes as the first ever digital graphic novel. The PSP version included animation of the original drawings and a full voiceover by the game's original cast. A new score was also written by the game's composer, Harry Gregson Williams. The connection, though, between games and music, however, doesn't stop at original scores. Videogames Live was first conceived by the studio Wall and Tarliko, who spent 3 years planning the show. During this planning, the technology needed to let the concert master communicate with the performers, as well as to synchronize with the lights and effects, was also created. The concert debuted on July 6, 2005 at the Hollywood Bowl, where the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra performed to an audience of 11,000 people. 3 concerts were played in the first year. In 2006, the concert relaunched with an 11-show world tour. The concert was expanded to 30 cities in 2007 and 47 cities in 2008. More than 70 shows are scheduled for 2010. Videogames Live features music from games of all eras, music from more recent titles such as Final Fantasy, Halo and World of Warcraft, as well as other segments featuring retro arcade games such as Tetris and Asteroids. The show features several interactive segments where audience members are invited on stage to play video games while the orchestra plays music to match the game. Games such as Frogger, Space Invaders, Donkey Kong and Guitar Hero have all been played live. Super Smash Bros. Melee features music from some of Nintendo's popular gaming franchises, performed by an orchestra assembled specifically for the game. Dubbed simply the Smash Orchestra, Nintendo released a soundtrack in 2003 called Smashing Live, which it gave away as a bonus for subscribing to Nintendo Power magazine in North America. In 2004, the New Japan Philharmonic Orchestra also went on tour using music from Smashing Live. So, what have we learned about the video game cultural revolution? Accepted as the fastest growing form of media and one of the most influential in history, the video game industry seems unlikely to stop anytime soon. What we have seen in the course of this program is just a glimpse of its potential. Already responsible for new forms of technology, books and music, video games have established themselves as the cultural pioneers of the 21st century.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom in the trees, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.